Sifu Raphael is the founder and host of Coaching Call, Heroes Rising, The Seer Show, and New Tip Daily. He works with individuals, groups, and businesses and helps them find clarity, purpose, and understanding of who they really are in business and personal life. Sifu Raphael has used his skills to develop a variety of multifaceted businesses in the martial arts and fitness industries. He owns and operates a 10,000 square foot martial arts and fitness facility in New York. Jose Escobar is an award-winning, nationally recognized personal development speaker, published author, and sales professional. He leads compelling, high-level communities consisting of entrepreneurs and advanced leaders through his two business models, the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf and the Connected Leaders Academy. He is also the co-host of Heroes Rising.
Hello, my friend. How are you today?
Good afternoon. I'm fantastic. Yourself?
Oh, exceptional. And you know my answer, getting better every day. So I'm excited. We have two really and beyond exceptional gentlemen joining us today. Why don't we go ahead and bring them on and so we can all say a quick hello. Matthew and Joey, guys, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, Jose.
Yeah, good morning. This is an honor to get to have this conversation with you guys. I'm really looking forward to it. So great to be here.
Awesome. So one of the things that we want to talk about today is being grateful, right? Gratitude is a great thing that we all talked about that a little bit earlier before we all came on live. So we are going to have so many people blowing up the comments that I know that Jose is going to help me monitor that because it's going to be so much. But I want to start off today by introducing everybody to a gentleman that when we did a show together, it was explosive for me. Joey Drolshagen, aside from being a very successful 28-year career up to VP of sales, and you talked about the automotive industry and so forth, but you've spent over 3 decades studying, implementing, and developing what's now known as the SMT, which is the subconscious mindset training. Man, do I want to know more about that. We all do, right? Which has repeatedly allowed hundreds of people, and you talked about thousands of people, to create the life they desire. You've helped thousands of people. We are always looking for what you have to say. And I know that you impact people so many different ways. You know, when people desire certain things through their retraining of their subconscious mind, and I know that you're an expert in this, Joey, we'd love to hear more, my friend.
Thank you for that. It's great to be here. I'm excited. And my whole pathway, as we got to talk about, Raphael, my whole pathway has been from my own struggles. You know, from that point of trying to make life happen, from that point of living in what I call the Antichrist and the strategizing and trying to figure out and massive actions, massive efforts, all of that, and to none of it working and crashing over and over and over and just really wanting to live a better life. And then taking those tools, it's almost like my life was modeled as the starting point to figure out how to change my own life. And then in doing so, carrying that forward and impacting people's lives. My life has never been as incredible as when I get to have that impact in other people's lives, whether it's personal or helping them grow their business or whatever it may be, but getting to use my life as that example into that. So I'm really excited to talk today.
Okay, that's awesome. So you're impacting, wow, you told us earlier, not 100 people, not 100% professionals, not even 200. Thousands,
almost 1,000 people's lives over the past decade, and it's actually absolutely incredible. I've always had this passion since I was 22 years old to help motivate and lead people to live better lives, but I didn't know how to do it myself. And getting to do this and see when people have those breakthroughs or those aha moments or those connections, man, I'll tell you, it put me in tears, like getting to experience that in somebody else's life. It's so incredible. Yeah.
So you were in the automotive industry, right?
Yes. Growing up in Detroit, I started out there, and I never wanted to do it, but every time a promotion came, I kept taking that next up, all the way up to a vice president of sales. And aside from building territories, leading great sales teams, leading not good sales teams, you know, is I helped companies that were in bankruptcy get back into profitability. And like, I didn't go to school to build those skills. It just happened, and it opened up. And so as I did that, that's where I got a lot of the insights that I help other business owners do right now on things to avoid, you know, identify and eliminate stresses within the business place. But really incredible growth without the massive actions and efforts, and do so at a very quick pace. And yeah, it's almost my whole life has prepared and brought me to impacting that almost 1,000 people's lives and businesses' lives, and then growing from there.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So talk to us, you know, you are an ordained minister, right?
I am.
How is it different when you talk to a business person or a person who is coming to look for the higher power?
Yeah, you know, the big difference in that really, and it took me a while to do that, because for a while, you know, I come from the Christian beliefs and my own beliefs with Christianity and such, and there wasn't really a place in that for business. So I would shy away from utilizing the terms that I would speak at a delivering a Sunday service. I would change that into more the business vocabulary type of things. And there is still some of that, but at the core of it, it's all the same. To grow your business, to improve your life, to get over a financial situation, like anything that we do, it's really about personal transformation, which ultimately is spiritual transformation. And however it's delivered to fit the audience, at its core, it's the same thing. It took me a while to understand that, because I felt like I was doing something wrong if I didn't use things that I know out of the Bible and such. But there's so many ways of helping people with it without mimicking the Bible or without stating it the way it's in the Bible. It all flows right back to that.
It sure does, right? I think Matthew can probably jump in on that as well, right, Matthew?
That's right. Thank you, Raphael and Jose, and thank you for that, Joey. So I mean, if some people that might know my background, so I was also in ministry, an active ministry for 20 years as a Catholic priest. And I really just want to honor what Joey said. Really, it comes back to just really helping people and serving people. And sometimes it's serving them in their relationship with themselves and their relationship with what I would call their inner circles, with those that are close to them. And then the relationship with the higher power, with the divine, with the transcendent, which in ministry, it's more directed towards that. How to enter into relationship with the transcendent, and how the transcendent, God, the higher power, has a relationship with each of us, and how to cultivate and foster that.
Beautiful. So, Joey, going back to you, we're going to give you a little bit of time, and I know you wanted to share some valuable information with our audience. So we're going to give you the stage at this point, my friend.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for that. And thank you, Matthew, for stating that. That's absolutely how the whole thing unfolds. And what I've realized in all of my studies, and again, I was the guinea pig of everything I do today in my life. And when I was growing up, you know, in a very low income family in Detroit, Michigan, watching my parents and all the struggle and stress and beating themselves up and things, struggling, it was what was conditioned in me. So I won't go into the whole model, but we have a conscious mind. It's what we focus on. It's the thoughts we entertain, the words we use, and all of that. But then we have a subconscious mind. The conscious mind we have control over. We determine what we focus on. We determine who we hang out with, whether we watch, you know, CNN constant negative news in our life, or how we spend that time. But then our subconscious, all it does is literally absorbs what's in the conscious mind. And it puts it into what I call this motherboard of our conditioning, our patterns, paradigms, and all of that. And then the voice we hear in our head, which so often works against us, is all those tapes playing back over of all of our experiences, of all of our conditioning, all the stuff we've been told, and all of that. It just plays it over and over. That I've come to term this here as the Antichrist. Because when I'm living through my head and figuring out my path and doing my strategies and massive actions and all of that, I'm out of alignment with the flow of how easy things can happen and come about. That spark idea where at times somebody will be trying to figure something out and they overhear somebody at a coffee shop or they hear something on radio or whatever, and all of a sudden it's that answer. We when we're living from here, we don't pick up, we're not receptive to those things that are happening. So really what it is, and I found for my life and the clients I work with, even the organizations in bankruptcy getting back to profitability, is we have to reprogram that motherboard. And as we do so, we start opening ourselves up to seeing the opportunities that are constantly around us that when we're living through here, we just don't see. And so I'm able to help people to do that in very short periods of time. What took me years to identify and understand now take my clients weeks to implement and get that same growth out of there. And that's how I'm able to help somebody who's in a financial situation within a matter of months completely change around their entire financial situation. Or a lot with businesses who, when somebody's struggling trying to get to $100,000 in revenue a year, to take them into millions and do so within months. Is that we get into alignment with, and I call that total mindset alignment. We get the conscious and subconscious working together, and it's not like a digging out the skeletons type of thing and going through our past and everything. It doesn't matter. 2 points of reference, I can help somebody. Where exactly are you right now? What's that struggle? What's going on that you want to change? And then I help them develop. I have road mapping tools and all that to help them develop. Where do you want to be? What is that like? What's the end line look like? What's it like to live in that prosperity and the knowledge base and the sharing and the impact that you're having in all of that? And from those 2 points, I can help anybody quickly shift along that line with the SMT method and end up at that point. And what we do is we identify the conditioning that's causing limitations, because ultimately it's not our situation, circumstance, our bank account, where we grew up. None of that determines how far we'll go in life. It's that subconscious programming. That's where the voice we hear that steps up that says, who do you think you are? How are you going to do that? Or, yeah, I tried that before and it didn't work out, and all of that. And when we understand those things, we can easily shift those, put new programming in place, and start opening up the avenue and the doorway for new and greater opportunities. It like overwhelms my heart that I get to have this impact in other people's lives.
That's huge. That's huge. And when we think about the mindset, right, man, that's where everything starts, doesn't it?
It does, and ends. And everything else is the pieces in between there, on how we formulate it. Right now, I'm working with a lot of realtors who the interest rates have gone up, the economy has changed, the competition, like all of that. And they're saying half of the realtors within the U.S., up to 50% of realtors in the U.S. will be in a different industry by the end of 2023. Mm-hmm. It's all about mindset, because I'll work with somebody who goes to a new area and they don't know anybody, and they're able to get so much more leads and which end up at closings and higher revenue and everything else, because they don't know the hangups that the people who have been there a while know. Joey.
Coincidentally, today I'm talking about mindset, right? That's kind of one of the topics I'm talking about. And it's interesting because if you confront a client, right, and you've helped about 1,000 now, right? If all of these people that you've helped, if you have somebody that you come across that says, well, I just can't seem to get out of this funk, right? I'm stuck on this like plateau, or I can't seem to hit the glass ceiling and break it and get to the next level of mindset. What do you say to them?
I just help them open up. And like I said, the SMT method is designed. It's really neat in the way it is, because I don't do the ABC type coaching. So many programs say you do A, B, and C and you're going to get D. Mine, the application of the SMT method is unique to every individual that applies it, but it's geared to get to that core point of that ceiling. Because realistically, there's no ceiling. It's all perception. And one of the things I tell people, Jose, is the reality of our life is make-believe. The entire reality of our life is make-believe because it's based on our perceptions. So at any time, we can shift our perceptions and we shift the reality of our entire life. So looking at it like that, and the cool thing about it is anybody who's at a point of being discontent with the way things are in life, I can work with them and help them quickly identify and shift that and they open up their world to a whole new level. The bad news about that is nobody can do it for us. We have to be a willing participant in that shift.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt, you have to be.
Good stuff.
When we think about perspective shifting and all that, and I love the fact that you talked about the ceiling is what we make of it, but there really is no ceiling. Physically, if you're in a building, yes, there's a ceiling. But look, we even know that we can go beyond the moon.
We can, and we use so often things like fear. That's such a great paradigm to look at, because fear is no reality in that. False evidence appearing real. There's a million ways of saying it, but and so for a long time in my life, I thought I was afraid of heights. So because I am like I am and I take on challenges like that, in October, I ran off a 2,000-foot mountaintop with just me and a hang glider for the first time. And what I realized in that, and it was just so beautiful, but I had to go through that fear. And so often we let fear stop us. But if we understand, we can't get around it, over it, or under it. But when we go through it, most of the time it's paper thin because there's no reality to it. There's nothing real about it. And so when I launched off of there the first time, it took courage for me to run off there, the 3 steps, and then be in the air. But what happens is when we go through our fear, the moment my feet left the ground, the moment we go off of that ledge of whatever it is we've gone through fear, life begins at a whole new level. It's a whole new plateau of living that we achieve by doing that. And it's a lot of things, Matthew, you'll relate to this. It's a lot of the things that go back to having faith. So often in my life, I talked about having this really strong faith. I wouldn't go off of that mountain. I wouldn't take on the things that with the mindset and dive deep into that to get to the understanding. I wouldn't do those things. And we let fear stop us and create what you said, Raphael, that ceiling, that false ceiling of how far we can go in life.
Yeah. So, coming in July, we're gonna take that ceiling and we're gonna break through. Let me share with you guys this little bit here.
Heroes Rising Apex is the highly anticipated business event of the year. This gathering of industry leaders, entrepreneurs, authors, and visionaries promises to be a game-changing experience that will inspire, educate, and provide networking opportunities. Get ready to immerse yourself in a world of innovation, strategy, and collaboration as we embark on an unforgettable journey of learning, growth, and success. Join us in New York on July 14th through the 16th. Go to heroesrisingapex.com for tickets.
Come join us. I mean, did you see that handsome guy right there, Jose? Man, what? Jose, by the way, when I asked him to be my co-host, he wanted to make sure it made sense. And I think that he is enjoying this ride that he's out on with me. I want to tell you a little bit about Jose. He's an award-winning, nationally recognized personal development speaker, 7 times, not 5, not 3, 7 times published author. He's been 25 years as a professional salesman. He's a husband and father to 5 beautiful children. And I got to tell you, his wife is a saint. That's for sure. So he leads compelling high-level communities consisting of entrepreneurs, leaders through 2 multi-6-figure business models. One of them being the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. And man, I got to tell you, can you look behind him? Look at all the books he's got. He definitely is an Entrepreneur's Bookshelf leader for sure, and the Connected Leaders Academy. Jose's magnetic personality shines in his presentations where he has reached audiences collectively over 30 million and radiates through his dynamic coaching programs, inspiring his international 65 now, entrepreneurs and executives who master their personal and professional excellence. His past sales experience has led him to amass over 30 million, probably more now, in revenue for the companies he served, Before I truly bring Jose on, let me have you take a look at the community that he's created.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line, and of course, grow your circle and your network like never before, this is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JAESCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
What I tell you, exceptional gentleman. Jose, I know that today you're talking about something that really inspires us all. We'd love to hear, my friend.
Wonderful. Well, first of all, yes, I think Katie might be a saint. I'm pretty sure. Okay, let me stop being blasphemous. No, she's great. She's a great wife. She holds me in line. We're complete opposites. And yes, 5 kids, never a dull moment in my household. And I am just honored to be a part of Heroes Rising as a co-host with Sifu Raphael, and always seen some amazing leaders like yourselves here today, Joey and Matthew. Just honored to be in your presence, and of course to add value to everybody who's watching now and catching the replay. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about mindset, right? Very, very important in terms of mindset. I think we all we have different perceptions, as Joy was talking about, of what mindset is, having a positive mindset. I always talk about the winner's mindset, right? So the winner's mindset speaks to what Joey said earlier, that we are the result, the average of the 5 people that we spend our time with, right? And I think we can all agree to that for the most part. And I always say that we're going to be or should I say in 5 years, we're going to determine where we are. What determines where we are is 3 things. And many of you might have heard this, but it's important to say, especially when it comes to mindset, is who you spend your time with, where you spend your money, and the books you read. I'm surrounded by books, right? For every book I read, I buy 5. And I read about a book a week, sometimes 2. Very, very important. I surround myself with people that are a lot bigger than me, right? That's my goal. And it's not always the case, but I try to surround myself around people that are they have better relationships. They have bigger families, so they have more experience in parenting. They have more money, so I know that I know, like, I can take some of their insights and their mindset, right? They might have they might be healthier, in better shape than me. So I always surround myself around the right kind of people. And then, of course, where you spend your money. You know, are you spending your money at the bars all the time, at the nightclubs, at the stadiums, on Netflix, on movies and having fun? Or are you spending it on reinvesting in yourself, in things like books and shows and podcasts and programs and courses and events and seminars and masterminds and boot camps? So mindset definitely matters. And there's a difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, right? There's a big gap between the two. Just like there's a gap between goal setters and goal hitters, right? There's a gap between good and great. There's also a gap in mindset between a fixed and a growth mindset. And a growth mindset says that we can be more, we can do more, we can achieve more. And there's a constant growth process. Fixed just means that you're stuck where you are, and this is as good as it's going to get. And we all know that that's not true, at least for the most part. And if you don't think that, you have to tweak the mindset to a winner's mindset. Darwin talks about the environment grows the organism, right? That's a law of the universe that essentially talks about how our environment is going to determine where we end up, right? There's a great author I want to give a shout out to, and many of you, actually most of you probably don't know him, but some of you do. Chris Matakas. He's a phenomenal martial artist. We've been at his back neck of the woods in New Jersey. He wrote this amazing book called Improve, Grow as If Your Life Depends on It, by Chris Matakas. Highly endorsed this book. Powerful, powerful book. And it goes back to your environment, right? He says in the book, he has a quote, he says, "You are only as strong as your environment demands you to be." So what kind of environment are you in? Are you in an environment that stretches you? Are you in a place that you're being pushed all the time, constantly, right? Very, very important. There's a great book by Ryan Holiday called The Obstacle is the Way. We need to stop seeking the path of least resistance, right? The struggle is going to be what makes us better. We have to take those challenges head on. That's what life's about. So we have to be cognizant of choosing an environment that's going to serve us. We have to choose the environment that's going to serve us in terms of growth, in terms of developing the winner's mindset. And there's been many examples of, the environment, right? Like a plant is only going to get as big as its pot, right? So a lot of times you have to repot so it can get bigger and expand, right? There's a fish in a bowl. A bigger pond means bigger fish. I think we've all heard that as well. A pumpkin in a jug, right? When it's the size of a walnut, it's going to grow to the size and shape of the jug and never get bigger. That also happens with our mindset. So you got to ask yourself, who are you hanging around? What are you doing? What kind of things are you watching? What kind of events are you going to? Are you stuck in a rut on your couch all the time, just hanging out, popping open a beer at night after a long day and saying, you know what, I'm just going to watch Netflix. I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to do this. Or are you constantly seeking to tweak and improve your winner's mindset? Very, very important. And I think there's a very powerful saying, right? You can have more than you got because you can become more than you are. If you can understand that concept and grasp it, the sky's the limit. Very important. So as we continue to improve, as we continue to seek growth, you're going to see that things are going to start to go upwards, right? There's an upward trajectory because the winner's mindset develops and grows in discomfort. So are you comfortable? Do you feel like you're coasting? John Maxwell says it all the time, when you're coasting, you're roasting. So in terms of the winner's mindset, you have to have a personal growth plan. What does your personal growth plan look like? Do you even have one in place? Do you know your why? Do you know why you're doing what you're doing? They say the whys begin with the whys, right? So the whys, wisdom, right, begins with the whys, W-H-Y. You got to be crystal clear on your why. What is it that you're trying to achieve? And that goes back to a lot of mindset piece. You got to ask yourself, how strong is your why? Because that's going to help you develop the appropriate mindset. And I think we've all heard of the chicken and the egg, right? The winner's mindset requires a commitment to a winner's mindset. You can't just decide, you know what, I want to think like a winner today and I'm going to go back to mediocre status or just doing whatever I feel like doing. Feelings come and go. Commitment is all the way through. Just like the chicken and the egg, right? The chicken was involved. The chicken laid the egg, but the pig was fully committed. In order for us to eat bacon, what does the pig have to do, right? The pig has to die. The chicken laid the egg and he's still hopping around and doing his thing and he's part of the process, but he wasn't fully committed. So in order for you to have a winner's mindset, you have to commit to the process. Very, very important. We've heard of the law of diminishing intent. The law of diminishing intent says the longer you wait to do something that you know you need to do now, the greater the odds that you're never actually going to do it. Willpower, right? Throughout the day. So a winner's mindset understands that if I need to get things done, I'm going to eat the frog. I'm going to do what I need to do early. And if I'm ever going to quit anything, I quit early, right? So never, let me put it this way. You, me, everybody in my circle, none of us are ever going to change our life until we change something we do daily. And that's backed by discipline. And discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, right? The gap between setting a goal and hitting a goal. Like I said, there's a big difference between the two. So my encouragement to all of you out there today is, what are you going to change daily now to commit to a winner's mindset? What habits are you going to install? What are you going to stop doing? What are you going to cut out of your daily systems or routines of what you do? What are you going to tack on, right? It's very, very important to be self-aware in terms of the process of our growth and our journey. A couple of us need to stop some things. Stop some things like procrastinating, negative self-talk, lack of follow-through, being undisciplined, caving into fear, right? I think Joey said, yeah, he did, false evidence appearing real. Laziness, making excuses, excusitis is what I call it, from the the magic of thinking big. Living life aimlessly, playing small, thinking small, overthinking things. Mental constipation is another way to say it. Inconsistency, wasting your talents, right? We all have this this power to do great things. So remember, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Very, very important. And Mother Teresa, I'll end with this quote in terms of what we need to do. Mother Teresa said, "Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin." So what are you doing today to level up your mindset? You have to, I've said it before, everything in life is created twice. First in the mind and then in the physical plane. So how are you thinking? On what levels are you thinking? Do you have thoughts that are this big, or do you have thoughts this big? A mentor of mine told me not too long ago, he said, "Jose, your goals are lofty. They're awesome. That's phenomenal. XYZ," what I told him. It's pretty big. But guess what? You are not thinking big enough. And I was like, oof, man, you know, but again, it's a mindset thing. So if we're trying to get to that next stage in our life or our business, it's going to require us to think bigger. It's going to require us to change our environment, to put us in an environment that demands us to grow, to replant our pots, to go in a place where you feel like you're the smallest fish in the room, to invest in yourself, to show up every day, to be fully committed. Commitment is a big word. Many people don't like that word these days because commitment is few and far between. Everybody makes decisions, very few commit. So you have to commit to a winner's mindset. You have to see it through. And I'm telling you, for all of you out there who commit to a winner's mindset, that think bigger intentionally, the game will change. You are one commitment away from that next level in your life. And that's really what it comes down to. So make a tweak. You don't need a new brain. You need a tweak in the mindset to go from a standard, aggressive, ambitious mindset, whatever word you want to put before mindset, but the winner's mindset is up here. And that's going to require you to make some adjustments. And we all need to make some adjustments in our mindset because we're not thinking big enough, even though we think we are.
Did you see me do this? You dropped the bomb, buddy. You dropped it. That's awesome. Commitment. Wow. I think all of us here are commitment oriented. Joey has he's got power outage, and I told him to try on his phone. If he can't come on, we understand. Commitment is huge, but sometimes even if we're committed, other people come in and try to tear us away from it, right? It's being super committed. Like you said, we're one step away from that big adventure. Like Heroes Rising, Apex.
That's right. I'm excited for that. July 14th to the 16th.
That's right.
Going down, folks. Going down.
I know you're gonna bring our amazing friend here. Oh, Joey's back.
Yes. So next in line, we have a powerhouse entrepreneur, just human being, amazing. I met this individual maybe back in December, I think it was, at an event in Virginia, DC area. And we hit it off. Very fascinating life, well accomplished, and so many amazing things. And so let me just go into the intro here. Supporting global leaders in forging alliance with inner circles, so they lead better, love better, and live better. Matthew has 30 plus years of experience in the field of education and development of the human person in personal and professional leadership, thriving in cross-cultural organizations and environments, trilingual. Matthew has enjoyed broad international and intercultural experience in leadership. This guy is super, super well-rounded. Educational and consulting roles in Italy, Ireland, England, Colombia, Chile, and Mexico, as well as having been a special staff officer and chaplain in the United States Navy, serving both with sailors and Marines. And this is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg of what we're talking about. Trust me, if you ask enough questions, your jaw will drop. This is a powerhouse speaker, coach, trainer, entrepreneur, and human being. Let's welcome Matthew Brackett.
Woohoo!
Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Joe. We got a lot of Josephs here. Jose, Joey. My name is Matthew Joseph, and we got Sifu Raphael. So thank you for this. You make me blush with that intro. But I'm just beginning as an entrepreneur, so I'm learning as I go. I think we lost. Did we lose anybody? All right, everyone's here. All right. What I wanted to say is, first of all, just going off, Jose, you were just talking about commitment. And working with the Marines, it makes me think of honor, courage, and commitment, which are the big words for the Marine Corps. And working with Marines, I would often say, when we deal with our humanity, to honor our humanity. Then to have the courage to embrace and deal with our humanity. And then to be committed to our growth as human beings. Because when we take care of our humanity will take care of us. It will take care of our loved ones. So those are some things that came to me, Jose, as you were speaking about commitment and also about intentionality. As we could say, we no one goes uphill by accident, right? We might go downhill, right? But we don't go up. We have to, if we want to grow, if we want to go uphill, it has to be with a lot of intentionality. So I'm trying to just echo what you've been saying, Jose, and then also what Joey's been saying. And I love what you said, where you were a guinea pig. I think really we are all our own guinea pigs, right? And then we kind of work on things, we figure things out, and the power of experience. And Joey, you said something so amazing when you wanted to overcome fear. And so you leaned into it and you had that experience of leaning into fear, and you realized how thin it was, how it was real, but you broke through it. And then you realized the freedom that came from breaking through that fear. The power of experience. I don't think anything can say better than that when we experience something, it makes it much more real to us. And especially when it comes to overcoming. A little bit, if I may, just a little bit about myself. I grew up as the 10th of 13 children in small town New England in Massachusetts. I grew up in an environment where we were educated and trained to really want to do something impactful in the world. But going back to mindset, I was small town New England in very traditional background. And so there were mental blocks. There were limitations, as our brain does, right? Our brain wants to live in security and safety. And so it's very natural that our brain looks to do that. But at the same time, as Joey and Jose have been talking about, that also limits us, right? And so that ability. So I grew up in an environment which I think limited me in some ways, but it sowed a desire in my heart to do something impactful that would make a difference in this world and in the infinite world, in eternity. And so I embarked on a journey to serve people. And I did that through the window of, and through the role of religious ministry, joining a religious order. If you know what religious orders are, like Jesuits, Dominicans, Franciscans, I joined a religious order and I was part of that for 30 years, 20 years in active ministry as a Catholic priest, which, as Jose highlighted, I've been so fortunate to have lived in so many countries and cultures. And when you're in ministry and you live in different countries and cultures, you really become part of the fabric. You speak the language, you become part of who the people are, you understand their mentality, their background, their history, and you lead them from that and in that. So very fortunate and then in ministry, you're also just be able to, you're invited into people's lives in very unique moments, oftentimes in the highest and most joyful, centric moments of their lives. but also in the most tragic and the most difficult. And we're offered very unique windows into that sacred space of people's lives. We began, Raphael, you began by talking about gratitude. And I just have so much gratitude for my past and for my present. Now, it wasn't always like that. There were moments, and I won't go into my story now, but there were moments in my life where I hated myself. I hated my story. I hated where I was at. I sort of despised what I was doing. And I think Joey might have talked about this as well, but how pain teaches us so much about ourselves. And when we lean into pain, just as when we lean into fear, we're able to learn so much about ourselves, about life, and about the important decisions, and about what fits and what doesn't fit. And I suppose to understand more my why. And pain can teach us to be a lot wiser, going back to what Jose said. So that was a small part, a small but big part of my story was that pain, which led me then to make important decisions of transition from formal ministry to what I do now. And really it's similar to what Joey does, but without all that experience that he has in the market that he has of an entrepreneur and a coach. So I really geared towards people in leadership roles around changing their mindset, around accelerating results, accelerating goals and results, really talking about internal results, the things that get in our way, the things that help, and then the things that hinder us getting to the results that we want. And as everyone's talked about, a lot of times it starts right here. We're giving this show today on Good Friday, the Passover for the Jews, Good Friday for those of Christian tradition. And just to go on that story of Good Friday, where the cross could be an obstacle, or the cross could get in the way, or the cross could become the way. And I think that goes back to all of just our own limitations, our own limiting beliefs, and all those things, the subconscious that Joey was talking about. Does it get in the way, or can that become the way to our success and towards our growth? So that's what I do now. I'm really working in the field of coaching, individual coaching. I believe very much in the power of individual coaching so we can overcome ourselves, if I were to say it one way. And then the educational piece in speaking and in educating about personal leadership, how we lead those around us and how we lead in organizational contexts. So that's who I am. That's what I do. That's just a quick window into my life. Raphael, I'll put it back to you. You're on mute. You're muted.
You're muted, Raphael. I can't hear you. You're muted.
How about now? I want to give a shout out to Joey for finagling. I know you lost power, but I see you're everywhere. You are amazing, my friend.
He doesn't let him go. He doesn't let the limitations take
You know what we were just talking about. Winners always find a way to win, don't they?
Right.
That is for sure.
And Joey's muted too. There he is.
We don't fail. We don't fail. We never fail unless we give up, right? So I'm in a new office, like a power outage. What are the chances it would happen right now? But yeah, if we just keep going and taking the next step. Edison took 10,000 times to invent the light bulb. It took me 3 steps to get to an area where I have light so I can join this awesome conversation.
Well, thank you so much, Matthew. That was phenomenal. And for the sake of staying on track with our time here, I'm sure people are going to have more questions. They're going to want to connect with you. Make sure you reach out to Matthew. His information is there at the bottom of the ticker there. So connect with him on LinkedIn. And again, this guy is somebody you want to have in your circle, somebody you want to know. And all kinds of potential possibilities can come from from having Matthew in your ecosystem, right? And vice versa. So I highly encourage you. And he's one of the members of the Connected Leaders Academy, as well as Sifu Raphael. So appreciate you both. And Joey, soon to be, he just doesn't know it yet. So with that being said, let's get moving on to our final speaker this afternoon is as always, very, very worthwhile. I always take copious notes, and I hope you have your pen and pads out. Sifu Raphael is a fitness professional, solutions expert, executive coach, and head instructor at Max Martial Arts and Fitness in New York. We're talking about over a 10,000 square foot facility. His goal is to impact the world with love and knowledge to as many people that are open to receiving it. Very powerful. He's the founder and host of 4 unique podcasts, which are all done live, by the way. Coaching Call, which covers various types of coaching styles by coaches, trainers in all different backgrounds of sports, martial arts, fitness, business, mindset, relationship, leadership, you name it. Coaching Call is a phenomenal podcast and show that you want to tune in for. He also has Heroes Rising, where 2 coaches are featured per episode twice a month. So today, this is Heroes Rising. And I'm honored to be the co-host with Sifu Raphael here. The Seer Show is bringing the world together from New York to Queensland, Australia, every Tuesday at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time. For all of you morning routine people like myself, make sure you tune into The Seer Show. And his latest one is called The New Tip Daily, and that's Monday through Friday, where he delivers tips on business, family, mindset, fitness, and health. And he features a coach every Friday to share their tips. Don't forget, Sifu Raphael is also hosting an event with me, the Heroes Rising Apex, July 14th to the 16th. So Sifu Raphael is now in the event space too. The question is, what does he not do? But that's a different conversation for another day. So let's welcome Sifu Raphael. The floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you so much, Jose. When I hear all the things I'm doing, I say to myself, why am I doing so little? What's going on with me that I'm doing so little? So thinking about my life, it really gives me retrospect to what I've been through, how I've found me. And my topic today is finding me. Finding me so I can find you. Who am I? Why am I here? Purpose. What's my drive? This is what I want to help everybody understand a little bit about. We all have a purpose in life. And when we can think about faith, religion, think about God, why am I here? So who am I? Like Matthew, I am number 10 of 12. He's number 10 of 13, but he beat me by 1. But guess what? My dad had other kids too, so I have more than 12. But here's the thing. When we are in a sea, how do we stand out? What do we do? And I don't do the things I do for other people. To be honest with you, I do them for me. Me first. You have to be selfish. If you want to grow as an individual, you have to be you first. You're on an airplane, you know the routine. What's the routine? Your mask first, then someone else. You help yourself first. So finding me allows me to find you. What does that mean to you? When I find me, knowing who I am, what I stand for, finding me means truly knowing me, not doing what other people want me to do. Hey, it's my life. It's not your life. So you have to say that to yourself every day. I wake up every morning, and I said it before, and thank you, Matthew, for bringing that up again. Gratitude. What am I grateful for? Why am I alive? I'll be honest with you. I should be dead. I'm like a cat. I should be dead multiple times. Somehow, I'm here. And I'm grateful for that. I had polio as a kid. I lost the ability to walk. Many people go, what? Because I'm a martial artist. I've been doing martial arts for 48 years. I know that's tough to think about when I'm only 25, right? I'm 25 here. And the way I train, and Jose talked about habits, the habits that I instill in my own life make me who I am. That's how I found me, through my habits. What is it that I do every single day that makes me unique? What is it that you do? This is how I help people. When somebody comes to me and they want to change their life, maybe they're already a millionaire. Maybe they're already married, or maybe they've gone through a divorce, or maybe they're a child, but they know that they can do more. And I love the fact that Joey talked about the glass ceiling, or even a ceiling. There is no ceiling. We create in our mind a limit. Stop and become limitless. Don't live with limits. The limits you live with are the ones you put on you, but also the ones that you allow other people to put on you. Do you know how many limitations I would have in my life if I allowed the people who said, you can't do that, why are you doing that? You're no good. You stink. You can't do that. It's not possible. You know what I say to them? I am possible. I'm possible. I am unique. I may not resonate with you. I may not be your cup of tea. And I'm okay with that. But you know who I am here to serve? I'm here to serve God. And it was me finding me that allows me to say that openly. In the past, I used to not say that. I used to not say that I'm proud to read I have a Bible right here, right behind me. Here's my Bible. It's right there. And next to my Bible, I have a book that I write notes on about the Bible, about what I learn. And I had a conversation with Matthew the other day, and I told him what my journey was. It's that journey that's made me who I am. So finding me is the best journey I have been on. But my journey's not over, right? And I implore for everyone listening and everyone on the panel to continue to find you. Because to be honest, you should be someone different in 10 years. I know I will be. Because every day I find that clarity. I find that new message. I find that new book. I find that new author. I find that new podcast. Listen, I invest like Jose and everybody on this panel, invest in yourself. You become amazing if you can invest in you. And I implore you to join us. I'm going to really take this away and do a selfless plug to have you guys come and join me and Jose. And Matthew's going to be there, and Joey's going to be there, and we have some exceptional speakers, and we need you to come and be uplifted to the tippy top. Every speaker has vowed to not just give a speech. They have vowed, and I have faith in them. They're going to give the best speech they've ever given, as if it was their last speech.
Heroes Rising Apex is the highly anticipated business event of the year. This gathering of industry leaders, entrepreneurs, authors, and visionaries promises to be a game-changing experience that will inspire, educate, and provide networking opportunities. Get ready to immerse yourself in a world of innovation, strategy, and collaboration as we embark on an unforgettable journey of learning, growth, and success. Join us in New York on July 14th through the 16th. Go to heroesrisingapex.com for tickets.
Allow me to find you. I am finding me. Every day, I recharge my battery. I recharge my brain, my body, my existence to become better. I work out every single day because I have been given this gift. This body is a gift. This mind is a gift. Thank you, God, for giving me this gift. And thank you, God, for letting me find these exceptional hosts, co-hosts. I implore you to follow these gentlemen on this virtual stage with me today. Become amazing. Become exceptional. And that's why my tagline every day is when someone asks me, how am I doing? Exceptional and getting better every day. Because I find something more about me. Because I do not stop finding out who I am. My purpose is huge, but I can't do it alone. So I ask you to come and join me on this journey. Gentlemen, what can I say? I am thrilled that you have been here with me and joining me and sharing your knowledge and expertise with everyone who's been listening to us. Thank you.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
That was phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me find you guys.
Thank you.
So as Raphael was saying, Sifu Raphael, we have here at the bottom, if you look here at the screen, we definitely want to encourage you to get your tickets for Heroes Rising Apex. We're not saying this very lightly because we truly believe in what we're putting together. We're going to have some of the best speakers from all around the world that are going to be on the stage there. We're going to have sponsorship and vendor opportunities. We're going to have a room with a few hundred people there. You're going to want to be there. Trust me, this is not going to be something you want to miss. It's going to be in Long Island, New York. And for a lot of you, it's like in your backyard. I know many of you that are watching here are not too far, right, within the East Coast. So drive, you know. And for those of you who want to get on a plane, I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the best investments of 2023, hands down. So don't waste time because the ticket prices will increase. And in the ticker at the bottom there, you're going to see the website for you to go and get your tickets now. Secure your spot before we sell out and before the prices go up, because guess what? The prices will go up and we will sell out. So take action today. That's my encouragement before we give it back to Sifu Raphael.
Well, you know, Jose, some people are even going to consider swimming because they're coming across the pond. Actually, we have people from Australia coming. You know, we got people from Brazil, Mexico, Canada. So some people are going to really spread their wings to be there. We have exceptional coaches, mentors, authors. Come get some signed books. Come. So for me, and Jose, I'm also going to your event, and we'll start plugging that later on as well. When you said to me, Raphael, are you coming to my event? Actually, I said to you, Jose, tell me about your event. You said, well, what kind of tickets do you want? And what did I say to you?
You said, well, you know, I'm a platinum kind of guy. I always do the highest level and everything, right? And maybe not in exactly those words, but that's essentially what you said. And I'm the same way. So wherever I go, I ride on the gold carpet, right? Just because I want the full experience. If I'm going to go somewhere, I want the full experience. That's just me. And you're the same kind of guy. And I think that's what you said roughly.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things, and even if you can't afford the higher experience, being there will be an experience. So right now we have tickets as low as $197, and that's going to go, it's going to go up. So do yourself a favor, sign up today. Do it now.
Yeah, today we equipped all of you and ourselves, because we're all learning from each other, right? So we equipped ourselves, we equipped you with inspiration, motivation, strategy, mindset, all of these pieces, right? And this is just flirting with what's going to happen on July 14th to the 16th. So again, don't miss it. Take massive action. That's where success happens, right? The ability to be decisive, to execute, to take massive action. So our encouragement to you today is get your tickets. There's a website at the bottom.
Well, Jose, did I forget to tell you that we're having a special virtual event for those people who buy tickets today or tomorrow? And here's the thing, we're doing a private summit on May 12th, right after the Heroes Rising show. So it's going to be at 2:00. It's private. So, we know Matthew's going to be there. We know a lot of other speakers are going to be there. We're doing a private event for ticket holders. So if you're not, listen, we're only limiting it to 250 people. So, and I know we're looking to have at the event 600 people. So the first 250 people that buy will come and be there with us. We're going to have a few virtual events that are going to be private only. So.
Yeah. By the way, Carrie, I see you said not too far. You're absolutely right. You're, I think, in Jersey or Philly. It's down the street from you. So book your ticket. I'd love to see you there.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me and Matthew, the kind of person we had a good conversation the other day, and I'm a hugger, people. So I'll have my arms wide open, and I will definitely be hugging out, right? So, and Jose, I'm going to see you very shortly. I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks. We're going to be
Yes,
be in where? New Jersey, I think, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Looking forward to it. All right, everybody. Matthew, what would you like? Any comments, any requests? What would you like? Would you like some espresso? What would you like, my friend?
No, I wanted to thank you. Thank you for your message. Your message made me think of 3 simple things. As long as there's life, there's possibility. Become the change that you want to see around you. And that only when we are at home with ourselves are we ready to be at home with those around us and to welcome someone into our home. So thank you.
Yes.
Powerful.
Yes. All right, everybody. Thank you. And make sure to make today, Good Friday, an exceptional day. And remember, this is one of my mentors has taught me. He said, don't have a great weekend. Have a strong end.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Have a strong end. Not a weekend. Don't be weak. Have a strong one. Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter. Take care, everyone.
All right.